Hi, welcome to Around Santa Clarita Valley with the RMS Real Estate Team. Hey, welcome back to Around Santa Clarita Valley. I have here Rick Pratt, who is the owner and operator of the little winemaker of Entourage. And so we're going to talk about winemaking today. Rick, tell us, how did you get into the wine business?
Well, my interest in wine started back in the late 70s when Trader Joe's sold nothing but wine, beer, nuts, and cheeses. We had a new baby, and I didn't want my wife to go to work, so I went to work for Trader Joe's. I worked for Trader Joe's 3 nights a week plus one day on the weekend, and that's where my interest in wine began. And I was fortunate enough to work for one of the guys that is considered one of the top authorities that ever worked for Trader Joe's. His name was Tim Beacons. And so he's the one that got my interest started. And then you flash forward to about 10 years ago, and I had my 40th high school reunion. And I had one of our classmates that made wine in his garage. And I'm being interested in wine. I thought, let's learn how to make wine. And as a result, for the next 10 years, I made wine in my garage. It was strictly a garage winemaker. We got to the point where we were doing about a half dozen barrels in the garage. and, and an opportunity came up to go commercial. Unfortunately, that particular venture kind of fell by the wayside. Our investor kind of screwed us a little bit. But anyway, and that's where my interest was really peaked. And I wanted to make wine, but I didn't have any place to make it. The gentleman that had the winery right next door, Norm Yost, the Flying Goat, contacted me. He says, "Hey, are you going to make wine?" And I said, "Well, where?" And he said, "Well, make it here." So we formed a thing. It's called an AP, where I use his equipment and his facility to make my wine. And we just put in barrel our fourth vintage. So I'm on vintage number 4. And the people keep asking me, you're old, you're retired. Why don't you just sit back and enjoy life? And the whole thing is, it's just like, I like to tell people, it's just like music, people that play instruments. If you play an instrument, you have to play that instrument. That's just becomes part of you. And once you get the winemaking bug, you're hooked.
Yeah. When it becomes a passion, it's hard to just put your passion aside and say, never mind, I'm going to stop. So
Yeah.
I can really relate to that.
And part of my interest isn't just the fact of making the wine. As you well know, being a customer, I enjoy the people. I enjoy sharing wine. I enjoy sharing what I make with people. The people are just as important to me as the process of making wine and having your own label. Wine really is a family or a group, and it's fun to be part of that. So that's why I enjoy it so much.
That's great. That's great. So what kind of wines do you make?
I make Rhone varietals. I was fortunate enough back probably 7 years ago to make contact with the number one Rhone varietal vineyard in the country, and that being Thompson Vineyard.
Hmm.
I don't call him number one. A gentleman by the name of Robert Parker, a fairly well-known wine critic, calls him the number one Rhone varietal vineyard in the country. So I was very fortunate. So I do a Grenache, I do a Grenache Blanc, I do a Syrah, I do a Petit Syrah, I do a Mourvedre, and then blends thereof. We blend a little everything. The only non-Rhone varietal that I do a Chardonnay, which is the only non-Rhone that Thompson Vineyard grows. So I'm very fortunate. It's pretty easy to make wine from good grapes, great grapes, as long as you stay out of the way.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. Wow.
So it's half the battle is won for me. So.
Well, I can attest that your wine is very good.
Thank you.
So I've been drinking the wine almost not quite daily, but pretty close. So that's very, very good. You have a wine club, don't you?
Yes, we do. We have, it's a very simple club. We just have 2 shipments a year. We have an entry level where it's 3 bottles every 6 months or 6 bottles every 6 months. And average price on the 3 bottle is roughly $90. The other one's roughly $190 every 6 months. And what that does is also, my son calling me, sorry.
Okay.
What that does is allows you, we give all of our club members 15% off any other purchases they make anytime. So I'm sorry.
Those things
Yeah,
happen.
yeah, he'll go away. Could have left my phone in the other room. I didn't. So
That
anyway,
happens.
so
That
and
happens.
we are our wine club members become family to us. Now I'm fortunate enough that you and Marianne, I went to school with you guys, so I knew you. But getting to know all of our family, they're like family to us, and I get to know their kids. I deliver all the wine to them for that very reason, because then I have to get face to face with them and I get to know them a little bit. Until COVID hit, as you well know, you were at the first two. We like to have release parties here at the house, and we do some pretty special stuff and some fun stuff. We'll get back to that eventually, hopefully.
I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, they're fun, but that way you become part of our family, and hopefully we become part of yours, and that's kind of like what we like. So
Yeah, we
that's
really
that's
miss, yeah, we really
yeah.
miss those little get-togethers.
Yeah, actually, the name Entourage was, we were trying to come up with a name that kind of surrounded that whole feeling of friendship and partners and friends and whatever. And I literally got in the encyclopedia or the dictionary and looked up synonyms for friends.
Oh,
Entourage happened to come up. One of the hardest things to do in the wine industry is find a name that isn't being used, and
correct.
we were shocked when it wasn't being used, so we jumped all over it. So
Wow.
so
Well, I know it's a little bit of a family business because I know your wife does all the designs of the labels, correct?
all of our labels are oil paintings done by Teresa, and they're either a model, a family friend, or family, or whatever she feels like painting. That's her part of the deal.
They're very, very good. They're
Thank you.
very, very good.
Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you.
So since COVID's hit, you've been doing some virtual wine tastings. How does that working out?
It's working out okay. As anybody in the wine industry will tell you, in order to sell wine, you have to pour a lot of wine. Well, there's no place to pour wine right now,
Mhm.
unfortunately, because we enjoy the festivals. It's a great source of sales for us. We've now, like I said, we've been selling for 3 years, and we're just starting. The ball is just starting to roll, where friends of friends of friends are now buying
Uh-huh.
and becoming members. But it literally took 3 years. But right now, we're limited to virtual tastings. What I do is I make up little bottles and I deliver them to everybody that's going to be on that Zoom tasting. It doesn't do any good for me to sit and talk about wine if you can't taste it.
Right.
So yeah, so that's what I do. I drive around and deliver the bottles, and then we sit and talk to each other just like we're doing right now, and we taste the wines together. So
Well, very good. Very
yeah.
good. Well, Rick, can you tell us anything more about your little wine business?
Uh, I don't know what more there is, other than we're very proud of our wines. Like I said, we get our grapes from the #1 vineyard. Uh, it took me 10 years to perfect my formulas for making those wines, and not to be bragging, but I will put our entire lineup. We have 10 bottlings now, and I will put our lineup against anybody's out there. They're top notch quality. So, and we try to keep them. One of the other things that we do with our business is, normally if you get a bottle of wine that's from Thompson Vineyard, from made by anybody else, you're going to pay around $50 a bottle, $50 to $80 a bottle. Our philosophy, once again, is we want people to go into their wine room, go into their wine cellar, whatever, their wine rack, and say, let's open this tonight, and not look at it and say, that's an $80 bottle. We got to wait for a special occasion. We try to keep our wines very, very low cost, and they're
Mhm.
extremely low cost considering what you're getting. And we do that for a very specific reason. It allows more people to enjoy our wine. So that's kind of our whole family, or our whole winery's feeling about the whole thing. Teresa and I are very much into that. So hopefully people can go up and grab a bottle. Are they cheap? No, but if you compare the prices with what you're getting from other Thompson producers and Santa Barbara County, their average prices for Santa Barbara County, possibly even along the low end now that as prices are going crazy.
Yes, yes,
So
that's so true with the last
so
year's
that's
fires.
yeah, that just kind of sums up our winery. We're very much customer friendly. We make it as easy as we can for you to enjoy our wines. So
Well, I know I can attest again, your wine is very, very good. So that's great. And then Rick is local. He's lived in Santa Clarita for how many years now?
since '88.
Wow. So he is real local. And as he said, he delivers the wine personally. He's come to our house. He wears a mask, so don't worry about it. So, but he is very personable and very, very good. And he invites all of his friends over. When this is all over and said and done, hopefully we can get back together again.
We'll get back there. We'll get back there.
Well, Rick, if people wanted to set up a virtual tasting or wanted to have some of your wine or even join the wine club, how do they get a hold of you?
Probably the best way is either through my email, which is rnpratt1@yahoo.com, or the way I like it, because then I have to talk to you, call me directly, 323-974-7021. Call me direct. I love talking. Like Teresa always says, there's only one thing you like making more than making wine and drinking wine, and that's talking wine. I'll talk your ear off if you let me. You've had a tasting at your house, you know.
Yeah, it was well done. It was very, very good. Well, just so that people don't have to replay the tape back and forth, all that information will be down in the comments below. Rick's information, along with my information as well. Well, Rick, it's been very good. Thank you very much for spending some time with us today and talking about all of our favorite subject is wine.
One additional thing, Ron, we do have obviously a website which you can sign up, or you can order directly, but I like it when you order through me. Our website is Entourage by Two Papas Wines. Go on the website, check us out, make comments, whatever you want to do. We look forward to meeting everybody.
That's great to know, Rick. Well, again, thank you very much for spending the time with us and talking about our favorite subject, wine.
Thank you, Ron.
Take care, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, take care.